Good morning and welcome to another day with Sea Fishing with CJ, and we're out on the boat, and as you can see it is a pretty splendid day again. The sky is blue, the sun is shining, and we're going to be heading off down the river very shortly to go fishing. So who is in the cupboard today? It's Jason!
Ahoy there!
Ahoy!
Hey.
Ahoy!
How are we doing, folks?
Well, we've arrived on the first wreck that we're going to be visiting, and we're just tackling up. So once we're tackled up, I'll get the cameras on and you can see us fishing. But you can see it's still a lovely day. There's a little bit of a chop on the sea, there's a little bit of breeze, but nothing serious. Nothing serious. Just show you the overlay on my GPS so you can see the detail on that. It's amazing. That's the wreck that we're going to be drifting. All those little purple dots are the marks where I've stabbed waypoints when I've been out here before. Yeah, beautiful day. Jason's tackling up, I'm tackling up, and hopefully we'll get fishing. I'm going to change my microphones over as well. Well, it's slack water virtually. We've got a tiny little bit of drift, but I think it's probably the little bit of wind that's moving us along more than the tide now. And it doesn't fish well on wrecks at slack water, so it does mean that I get the opportunity for a cup of tea. So make sure the lid's screwed on, otherwise I look very silly as I pour a pint of scalding tea down my front. So cheers everyone, and welcome to Sea Fishing with CJ. And we're out on the boat, me and Jason. Neither of us have caught anything yet, but we got here kind of slack water time. It's almost worth just drifting around and enjoying the view at the moment. Relaxing, just getting Jason the swing of everything, because he is a shore angler, but he's a land lubber, not like us salty sea dogs. But here we are. Let's have a little look at the view. There's lots of sea. There's the shipping channels over there. You can just about see the ships going on the shipping channel. I don't know if you can see them on this camera or not. And then inshore from us is Beachy Head, and Eastbourne to the right, and kind of over that way is Seaford and New Haven. We've got the ferries coming out past us shortly on its way to Dieppe. But yeah, sea is, I wouldn't say it's flat, smooth, mirror calm, but it's still pretty good. And it is forecast to get calmer, so that's also good. And once this tide starts running, we'll start catching some fish. We'll stick with this wreck until that happens, and then I've got another wreck I want to try. As I say, the wreck that we're on is a wreck called the Nyon. I'm not sure the history of the Nyon. I'll have to look it up for you. I'll put some details in the information at the bottom. But you can see it's quite a big wreck. It lies sort of semi across the tide. There is quite a sandbank on one side of it. And I've had some good fish off this wreck in the past, bass, pollock, and what have you. So I'm confident there's fish, it's holding fish. It's just getting it right. And at the moment, it ain't right because there is not enough tide. And so the fish, predatory fish like pollock, who like to wait for the little bait fish to come past, are probably having a bit of a snooze at the moment. As should we. I'll keep drifting it though, just in case. Just in case. As I say, exercise, Jason. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, happy days. Thought we'd try something different just whilst we're drifting around, and I've gone over to a spinning rod using a slow jig and picked something up. I don't know what it is. It's not biting hard. I'm suspecting it might be Percy pouting. You never know. You never know. I'm sure we didn't pick it up on the drop. Might be a mackerel. Nice. I do like eating mackerel, I have to say. one of my favourite eating fish. Here we come, what is it?
Lovely.
It is a pollock. So not a particularly big one, but a pollock nonetheless, coughing up loads of little fish. But it just goes to show that the target species is present. Now it's the first fish of the day. I am going to keep that. It's just sizable. Nice little fillets off that. But got all sorts of fish license. No, it has its swim bladder blown anyway, so it ain't going to take that. But here we go, first fish of the day. Yee-hee! Percy Pollock on a new technique. I always love to do a new technique, catch the species, the target species using a new technique. Stay up, we'll go back around again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's only a small fish, but you know, fish is a fish. The skunk is out of the boat. Let's go round again.
Well done, the old man. He's got it.
Yeah, the old man hits it off.
Honk, honk.
Woo!
Show these youngsters how it's done.
As old dogs teaching young dogs new tricks. Old dogs new tricks. I don't know what old dogs teaching young dogs new tricks. That's it, something. Whatever. Yeah. There's many a good tune been played on an old fiddle. The other surefire guarantee way of getting a fish, pour yourself a cup of tea.
Might have to try that.
Oh, I've got some of your stickers to go on there.
Oh, lovely.
Thinking about it. Okay, so I'm going to stop filming for a bit and see what happens. Oh no, let's film this technique. Let's see what's happening. So the wreck is to our west at the moment. So the wreck is in that direction. So I want to cast towards it. I mean, it's a risky strategy. You will lose gear doing this, without a doubt. But casting towards the wreck, and then as we drift towards the wreck, now we let this get down. These are Savage gear. I think they're Savage gear. Let me see label. Yeah. So Savage gear needle jigs is what we're using. They look very sexy. I did buy quite in a weak moment online. Did buy myself a few, and then found a load in the tackle shop. So I've topped up from the tackle shops as well. Knowing when you're on the bottom with a fixed ball. I'm not a fixed ball boat angler really. I think that fish took that on the drop last time.
Oh really?
Yeah, as soon as I started winding it was there.
Oh wow.
Wreckage is underneath us now, so if there's any Percy Pollock they will be underneath the boat. Come on, hit the bottom, on the bottom. Fishing that slow jig. They should go down like that and then come up like a needle. What it should do. Any of you out there are slow jiggers and give me some feedback on the technique, I'm always welcome. This is a new technique to me, slow jigging. Nice straight retrieve. No joy. Back down again. Wreck is still underneath us. That's how slow this drift is the wreck stays underneath us for quite a long time. Oh, that's my phone. Now the last time I did this, I cast back towards the wreck after we passed over it. So let's try doing that now. Wreck is now behind us, or I don't know how to say, there's still quite a lot of wreckage underneath us. It's the slow jig, and it's rigged up with the hooks at the wrong end. Cast back towards the wreck now, so we're bringing this back over the top of the wreck. This is a new rod I've just got. It's an Abu Garcia Vendetta next generation, and it is 30 ton graphics. What class is it? It's quite a heavy class. 30 to 60 grams. So it's a bit of a beast. I've got a lot of lightweight lure rods, but for this sort of thing you want one with a bit more run to it. Might be one of those days, the wind has dropped away now, the sea is glassing off.
I'll try yours.
Oh yeah, no, they're the bad boys, mate, they are the ones. That's what everyone was catching on there the last few days.
Oh really?
Yeah. I say we're not going to get much until we start drifting the other way.
Yeah.
But today is one of those days where we might actually see us stop and then start drifting back, which is always sexy when you see that. Well, I've christened my new rod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Cool. Almost first cast. Well, within the first sort of 5 casts, I'd christened my new rod, which is a good porting.
It's so nice to be at home.
Well, I mean, look at this sea now.
Look at that. Got a sun's day.
Oh, and the sun is nice and warm now.
Yeah.
That chill has gone out of the air. New rod, christened.
The Maritime Safety Information Broadcast for the New Haven, Needles and Beerhead aerials. This is channel 62.
Right, let's have a listen to the weather.
All stations. This is Sailing Coast Guard. Here is the Maritime Safety Information Broadcast. There are currently no gale warnings in force for sea
Good.
areas Dover, White, Portland and Plymouth.
Oh, well, look at the sky behind me. In fact, I'm probably silhouetted with the sun behind me, so you're not going to be able to see a great deal apart from my silhouette and the sky. Let's bring the camera around this side a little bit. That's better. Well, we've had one pollock, which was a result. I had it on my new lure rod, which is also a result. So it means I christened a new rod and a slightly different technique that I haven't tried before. So slow jigging. It's slack water now. We're not drifting anywhere. We're just hovering around. And to be truthful, you do need to be drifting wrecks. So we're going to just sit down and have our lunch or have a breakfast or whatever you like to call it. Or in my case, I'm going to have a cup of tea, another one. And we're just going to enjoy this fantastic. The ocean is now, if you can remember what it looked like when we first sat down here, how choppy it was, it is just mirroring out. It is a glass off, or it's becoming a glass off. All we need to see some dolphins now and it'd make a perfect day. That would be awesome. We're going to go a bit further out once the tide starts running. We'll have a few drifts on this wreck once, and then we'll try a little bit further out on a wreck that I don't think many people fish. So fingers crossed on that. There's definitely pollock here because we caught one. And at the worst stage of the tide. So yeah, just keep on fishing. Well, have a cup of tea and then keep on fishing. We've been drifting around just waiting for the tide to change. I don't know if you can see this because of the glare on the screen, but that was our drift line drifting out, and then the tide has changed and we're starting to drift back towards the wreck again, which is, I love it when you see that. There's not many days you get to see that. So yeah, happy days. Jason's into the first fish of the day. First fish of this wreck. Looks like a pout in the way it's fighting, but oh no, looks good. Looks like it's woken up. I'm not even hit the bottom.
Put it in line, actually.
Taking line?
Yeah.
Wow. Awesome.
Woohoo!
So I'll put you on the fish.
You put me on the fish.
Eventually. Third wreck.
Still like a nice little scrap, huh?
Hmm?
Still like a nice little scrap.
Yeah, is it still scrapping?
Yeah.
Because pollock tend to give up after the first few seconds.
Oh, you've got scrapping.
That might be a cod then. So I have had cod off this wreck.
That'll be nice. If you throw it in.
Right, Jason playing his first fish of the day.
I can see the lead.
Sorry, you can see the lead?
Yeah,
see any colour? See any colour of the fish? Oh yeah, there it is. Oh, nice pollock. Nice pollock. Look at that, baby. Yes. I wouldn't be surprised that's not your PB, is it?
I've never had a pollock before.
You've never had a pollock before? Well, it's definitely a PB then. So, swing her in. Let's get it on camera. Get your fingers in their gills. Look at that boy, but baby, yeah. Pleased with that. Yeah, nice fish.
Yeah.
And the old rhubarb and custard hits it off.
Cool, look at that.
Lovely fish, I'd think about £6, £7.
Yeah.
What am I zoomed in?
Lovely fish.
Yeah, it's a proper job. Let's get a phone shot and get it out there to the world.
Yeah. You just got a fish on?
Fish on!
Yes, fish on.
Oh, call this as a bass.
Oh, is it?
I think so.
That'd be cool.
Not fighting like a pollock. Nice end to the day, I have to say. That wind's starting to go now.
Yeah.
There'll be a second fish for the new rod. And the
Lovely, what that
Savage
is.
Gear pollock. But it was fighting well.
There's a pollock.
Only a little one. Another little pollock.
Another nice pollock.
Another little pollock for me. But not a monster, but it did put up quite a good fight, I have to say. It might go back down. It's fine. It's fine steering it. Unless you want it.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, it's gone down. It's gone down. Excellent! Caught and released. Nice little pollock. Might drift round and have another go at that. We've been to quite a few wrecks today. The fish aren't exactly being very obliging, I have to say. But it's been a cracking day. Can't odds the weather. Can't odds the weather. Spoken to one of the other boats that's been out here. They've had a couple of cod actually, which is quite good. And we've dropped in on the wreck that they had the cod on. Give that a couple of drifts. So I did get 2 takes on that last drift.
Wow, one.
But nothing. Yeah. So the fish are there. They're just a bit reluctant to feed at the moment. I think there's a bit of may rock coming in the water now. I notice there's a bit of brown algae showing in the water, and that will put them off the feed, definitely. We'll do this wreck, and we'll do one more on the way back if we don't hit it off on this wreck, on this next drift, and then we'll probably call it a day. It's been a cracking day though. I don't even know what time. I've got a clue what time it is. Tide is slackening, but yeah, beautiful day. Right, let's turn the boat around and spin the boat around and get on this drift. Right, here we go. Fingers crossed. No, I'm just looking at the drifts gone a bit willicky. You want to go north a bit. It's got a little squirting engine, little squirt. Just giving a little bit of adjustment with the engine there to get us back on the drift, because we kind of, for some reason, went off the line a tad. You know, a little breeze has picked up maybe. That should put it back onto the drift nicely. Let's have a look at the drift. Ooh. So just looking at the drift there, I don't know if you can see it with the reflections on the screen and everything like that, but we're drifting towards the wreck quite nicely. And here comes the wreck. On cue. Can't fish. I've got a pollock for my tea.
I've got a pollock for my tea.
Yeah, you got a pollock for tea, lunch, dinner and breakfast as well. And all your kids.
Pollock's been around though.
Yeah. Mind you, they were catching cod on this wreck, so a nice little cod would be nice.
Cod would be nice. Cod and pollock.
Yeah.
Cod and pollock. Quite.
What a weather forecast. has been better than it was forecast. Rather, the weather is better than was forecast.
Yeah. The weather's been absolutely brilliant.
Sorry?
The weather's been lovely.
Yeah, I mean it was forecast to be cloudy all day. It's not, it's been sunny all day. Oh, I think we might go and try one last wreck.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing happening, so let's try another wreck. Well, not the most exciting of days, to be truthful. I had 2 small pollock, Jason had 1 quite reasonable pollock. One of mine I've kept because it wasn't going to go back, the other one went back. But, you know, that's fishing, isn't it? If you knew you were going to go out and catch fish all the time, it'd get boring. So we're out and we're on our way back in now. Just going past the ferry, guys. And yeah, another good day. Just going past New Haven Marina, and there's the view. So, stay safe, stay sane, stay fishing. Cheers guys, bye. And there we have the produce of our day at sea. A nice fillet, 2 fillets of pollock, fried in breadcrumbs as our starter. A glass of wine. What could be wrong with that?